My name is Dr. Ann Duncan, and I am the Director of Animal Health at the Detroit Zoological Society. I oversee 2 other veterinarians and 3 licensed veterinary technicians in our care of the animals at the Detroit Zoo.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Jane. I am the Associate Veterinarian here at the Detroit Zoological Society. I'm one of 3 veterinarians that we have here at the zoo, and it's really nice to talk to you guys today.
My name is Joy Thompson, and I am a licensed veterinary technician here at the Detroit Zoo.
When I was a very young child, I grew up in northern Michigan, and my family spent a lot of time outdoors, camping and hiking and canoeing and enjoying the great outdoors. We would drive out into the wilderness and go hunting for salamanders and mushrooms and adventure. I also grew up in a household that had dogs and then later cats, and absolutely adored animals. When I was young, my dad even helped me to rehabilitate songbirds. We took care of baby chicks that had been abandoned by their parents and released some of them to the wild. So I grew up loving animals and wanted to pursue a career that would allow me to care for them. And I went to Michigan State University for my undergraduate years. Got a zoology degree from the College of Natural Science with the intent of going on to veterinary school. Fortunately, I applied and was accepted by the College of Veterinary Medicine at Michigan State University, and during my time there worked to achieve the goal of becoming a zoo veterinarian. I spent a summer working at the St. Louis Zoo with their reproduction person and their veterinary staff and got a lot of very good experiences there. I spent time working in the nutrition lab of Dr. Dwayne Ulray. He was basically the father of zoo nutrition and a wonderful person and a wonderful mentor. And I also got a lot of advice from Dr. Jim Sikarsky, who was the wildlife veterinarian at Michigan State University during my years there. After I graduated from vet school, I got an internship in zoo medicine at the University of Tennessee and worked with seeing exotic pets in the area, primarily reptiles and birds, and also worked at the Knoxville Zoo caring for the animals that they had there. After my internship, I got a job at the Potawatomi Zoo in northern Indiana in South Bend, and there I was also the assistant director of the zoo, and I got to learn all the different aspects of managing a zoo and caring for the animals there.
So I think it's one of those things, being a veterinarian is just something that when I was a little girl, I've always had an interest in animals, and I've always been really interested in the natural world and have kind of cultivated that throughout my life. And I went to college and was really interested in biology and really interested in my science classes. And I got involved with some student organizations on campus that were focused on helping animals. I went to college in Chicago, and so I helped with some organizations that were taking care of shelter dogs in the city of Chicago. And from there, it kind of blossomed into that love of animals just sticks with you. And I've always had an interest in conservation as well, and working with endangered species. So this kind of mashed together all of my interests in one, and it's just something that you kind of grow with in your career. So I wasn't a 5-year-old girl with saying that I wanted to be a zoo vet one day, but it's something that I've grown to be a part of, and something that just kind of happened for me.
I was inspired to become a zoo vet tech on a trip to Cleveland Zoo. I was at their gorilla habitat, and one of their females came right up to the window. We were just a few inches away from each other, and I was just struck by how beautiful she was and just how amazing gorillas are. And it made me realize I was already working with dogs and cats in a private practice that zoo animals probably needed veterinary technicians too. So it was something I looked into, and as soon as I found out that was a career path, I pursued it.
So one thing that I like most about my job is that I get to work with people who care very passionately about animals and their health and their welfare. It's wonderful to work with a team of people that is so dedicated to their work, who enjoys showing up every day and enjoys the challenges that we face, and likes to work really hard to solve them together. One of the other things that I really like about my job is that we very often get to care for an animal from its birth all the way through to its death. And of course, everybody loves baby animals. It's very fun to care for them when they need extra care from us, or to watch them grow and learn under the care of their parents. In their later years, we do spend a lot of time caring for geriatric animals and making sure that they remain comfortable as they develop the kinds of problems that are seen in animals that become older. Some of our animals may have arthritis, they may have lameness, they may have heart disease, or other conditions that can affect animals as they age. And we work really hard to try to make sure that they maintain a very excellent quality of life and that they are getting all of their needs met as they reach their final years.
I think it's the variety of things that I get to do every day. My job is such that I'm never bored. You know, I walk into my job every day and it's always something new and something unique and different. And sometimes the day that I think I'm going to have is not the day that I end up having. We don't have a set schedule. We kind of work with the animals depending on what needs they have at the time. So I get to see and work with new things every day. And the other thing that I really like is that I get to learn as well every single day. So I'm always constantly trying to keep up on the new and upcoming literature out there to be able to help the animals at the zoo. And I'm always trying to learn every step of the day. There's always something new to learn in my job.
I have a lot of favorite parts of the job. I'm learning something new every single day. I get to work with a variety of species. On any given day, I can work with a reptile, an amphibian, a bird, and a mammal in the same day. I also love just the nursing aspect of being a veterinary technician. I love playing a part in helping an animal be able to live their best, most healthful life.
So I've been at the Detroit Zoo now for a little over a year. And right when I started, one of our lions was pregnant here at the zoo. She ended up needing a C-section. So I got to be one of the veterinary team that was helping with the process of helping one of our lions through the C-section, and also being the recovery team for the baby lions once they come out of surgery. So that's when I first met Binti the lion. And from there, I kind of was the first person to really hold her and to give her an exam and to look her over and make sure that she was healthy. And have been watching her health really closely. Watching her grow up has been a very special part of my job and certainly my time here at the Detroit Zoo. It's also helpful that I get to go out and say hi to her at the zoo whenever I'd like. So that's a really special part of my job, is I get to develop these really strong connections and watch animals grow.
I have lots of favorite patients here at the zoo, but one of the highlights of my career to date has been the opportunity to work with our polar bear cub, Lerka. I've been lucky enough to be involved with her since she was born. Just seeing how far she has come from when she was a newborn to now is so gratifying, and she just makes my heart happy every time I see her and how well she's doing now.
We have a lot of students contact us about job shadowing the veterinary department. We do not have the ability to provide learning experiences for high school students or undergraduate students. We do have opportunities for veterinary technician students and vet students that are in their last clinical years of training. Those students come, they spend their day with us, they do rounds with us, They help us look up solutions for the animal cases that we're managing at the time. They are with us when we do procedures. It's a really, really great experience. Unfortunately, we can't provide it for everyone that's interested, and we find that our vet students and vet tech students get the most out of this learning experience. If you're interested in finding out more about veterinary medicine, I suggest that you contact your small animal or large animal veterinarian, somebody in your area. Perhaps it's the veterinarian that takes care of your pets. Talk with them about any opportunities that they might have to job shadow them, or even just spend a day or two seeing what veterinary medicine is all about. Small animal and large animal vets have very, very busy days and see one patient right after another, and it's an excellent way to get experienced to find out whether or not this is the kind of career that you would enjoy. The other suggestion I have for people that are interested in veterinary careers is to attend Veterinary Education Day at Michigan State University. This is an event that happens every fall. It replaced VetiVisit, and it's a really, really good opportunity for finding out the kinds of programs that they have at Michigan State University.
Being a zoo vet is a job that you have to always stay really curious. So my advice is to just keep an open mind at every step. You know, life is a journey, and becoming a zoo veterinarian is something that you know anyone can do if they take the steps to make that happen. So it starts by having a curiosity and being involved in animals and being involved in conservation. For every step of your career, it does require things like going to college and then going to vet school, and even focused on additional training if it comes to becoming a zoo veterinarian after vet school. So always keeping those end goals in mind, and always being curious, and always asking a lot of really good questions, and asking questions about how the world works. Is definitely my biggest advice for people who are interested in being a zoo vet.
First, you do need to go to school and get either an associate's or a bachelor's degree in veterinary technology, and then pass a national licensing exam. In school, you'll learn mainly about dogs and cats, sometimes some large animals like horses or cows, but it's definitely focused on domestic animals. So I would recommend volunteering at a place like a wildlife rehabilitation facility where you'll get to interact with animals other than dogs and cats. A zoo is also a great place to volunteer. I actually started as a volunteer here at the Detroit Zoo. I was a docent for a few years before I became licensed, and I think that helped me eventually get my job here.
Sometimes I hear people say that they want to be a veterinarian because they like animals and they don't want to work with people. But working at a zoo and working as a veterinarian definitely means that you are working with people. Whether it's the caretakers, the curators, or the owners, you are explaining a lot of complicated scientific things to people. And so it's very important that you have good interpersonal skills. You have to have good verbal communication skills. You have to be a good writer. You have to have good team building skills, because you're always working with other people and you're trying to get people to work together efficiently and effectively and with compassion. The other thing that's important is to have good teaching skills, particularly because there's other people that need to learn from us and learn about the work that we do. As a zoo vet, I think you also really have to have good creative problem-solving skills. There isn't always the right exact equipment or the exact information that we need to do our work, and so we have to think outside of the box a lot to find solutions. It's also really important that we be organized. Taking care of all of the animals here at the zoo and making sure that all their vaccines are on time and their exams are on time and everything is happening on a regular schedule takes a lot of organizational skills. It's important to be good at math. When I'm figuring out the doses that I'm going to use for anesthesia or for an antibiotic or for another medication, it's really, really important that I get those doses correct and that my math is good. Then there's a lot of specialized skills that veterinarians need. We have to be really good at observing animals. Watching an animal from a distance, seeing whether or not it's walking in a way that means that it might be experiencing discomfort or looking for signs of anxiety or distress. I spend a lot of time quietly watching animals and looking for subtle clues that tell me that something isn't right. So that's very important. Also, being able to do a physical exam on all the different kinds of animals that we have here at the zoo, whether it's a very small little tanager or a great big rhino. Those are specialized skills that we learn through time and practice. Another skill that we have is surgery. All veterinarians usually do surgery. It's learning how to feel things with your hands and handle instruments and do very, very specific techniques surgically, and that's very, very important to being a veterinarian. I also have a lot of skills like learning how to interpret x-rays of different species or to perform an ultrasound and make sense of the images that I'm seeing and capturing with the ultrasound equipment. So those are examples of some of the specialized skills. It's also really important that I'm physically fit. During our day, we may be picking up lots of equipment and carrying it and putting it into the van, or rolling animals over, or walking around the park to visit our patients. And maintaining good physical fitness is important to doing my work every single day here at the Detroit Zoo.
I'm one of the newer veterinarians here on the staff. I've been here for around a year now, just a little over a year. And the Detroit Zoo is something that's pretty special to me. I grew up in Ann Arbor, so a little bit down the road, and this was the zoo that I grew up going to. My mom used to bring me as a little baby, and I have photographs of me in front of the polar bear habitat of her holding me as a little baby. And so being able to come back to the zoo has been something really, really special, and something that I've definitely been able to cherish. So I'm extremely lucky, and my job is busy and sometimes chaotic, and there's lots of things going on, but the Detroit Zoo is a really special place, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else or doing anything different.
I just want to share how grateful and humbled I feel to be able to do this job and to take care of all of our amazing animals at the Detroit Zoo. I feel very blessed.